Can I shoot this video? Okay, come on. Let's go, Cage. Come on.
All right, guys, welcome back to Studio 840. We are here and we are going to do a Q&A. I put up one of those question response stickers on my Instagram and had people ask us that way. So we have just a handful of questions.
Okay.
We're gonna answer.
Okay.
Not of any particular topic or anything. Just ask us whatever you want to ask us, is what I said. So, do you want to start like in a particular order or like?
You got the questions, I got your answers, babe.
Okay. Would you rather have robot arms or robot legs? Starting off really deep here.
Real deep.
Yeah.
I think I would have robot legs.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you need to know why?
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, with robot legs, I can obviously probably run faster, jump higher.
You would hope so.
So if I'm superhuman in that way, I would want to be able to jump over stuff and run faster than anybody else.
I mean, I would also say I would take robot legs over arms, just because I feel like you could acclimate to that easier. I feel like robot arms aren't gonna have intricate like fingers and.
They're robot arms, they should. They better be.
I like to get my nails done, and I don't think you could get robot arm nails done.
What if it came with skin?
Ooh.
So what if they're just robots underneath? But you
Yeah, I mean, I guess whoever asked this question, you need to specify what the restrictions of the robot.
Let us know where we at. We in the Terminator or what?
What are we doing? What is the most rewarding thing each of you have overcame within the last year as an individual?
I don't know if I could say I overcame it, but I definitely had my faith tested last year, going through some health issues, and so I can say that my faith was tested last year, and it was something to where I got over the fear of certain things. I recognized that death is inevitable. And so you have to have faith and, your purpose and your reasoning for being here. So over the last year, strengthening my faith has definitely been something that I've worked on and continue to work on. So just overcoming all the difficulties that I had to go through was definitely very rewarding because I'm still here. So, and I'm blessed to be here.
That's a really beautiful answer. And mine would be just overcoming my own insecurities. Not as deep or profound, but I've really, not that I've, like, I just know who I am now, and I'm set, I'm good, because I think it's like a lifelong process of figuring out who you are and really how you can use your talents to help others. But I've really, in the past year, I've come into myself a lot. Like, I've learned to accept myself, but also work on getting better at the same time that I'm happy about where I'm at. So I can say that I've come a long way in that. How did you guys meet, and what was your very first impressions of each other?
You want me to answer this?
I mean, we met at a church picnic. We just so happened to go to the same church. And it was a function that the whole congregation was having, and we both showed up that day. He brought Peaches, his now our dog. Everybody was interested in her, but I was like, who is her dad? So that's how we met originally. My first impression of him was...
Let's get it on. Let's get it honest.
My first impression of him was that he was just like way too cool. Just this natural like charisma and just suaveness that I was like, oh, he knows he's cute. Like he's got like this confidence. So I was like trying not to get too attached to that, because I just felt like he was just like, nah, like I'm good. Like you're cute, but like I'm good. So I just thought you were, Mr. Cool Guy kind of at first. Never rude or anything. Never like a D-bag about it, but you were you were Mr. Cool to me at first, and now you're like one of the goofiest people I've ever met in my life. Still got that charisma, but now it's goofy. Goofy.
My first impressions of you, damn, she's young. I like her tattoos. That was actually the first thing that I noticed. Besides her legs, she got these tall, long legs, and but she has these tattoos around her ankles, and I thought they were like really interesting. You don't see them that often, and so it was just something that thought she was a little artsy and a little, fun. So it was just she definitely gave off the impression of somebody who was very sweet and nice, and that was a big thing. Having somebody that is very nice can also be something where they play out some type of it's a role. People are nice outside, but not necessarily nice when you get to hang out with them and whatnot. And having fun and having conversations. I thought she was just a really sweet girl. So that was my first impression of you.
What is your favorite family holiday tradition? You just growing up, like what was your favorite holiday tradition?
My favorite holiday tradition was probably Thanksgiving. My grandmother would start cooking the night before, and family would start rolling in that same night. So the night before Thanksgiving, family would start to pull in from all different parts, and you would smell the kitchen just filled with food. She's working on the stuffing, and she's getting the potato salad ready. And I used to be in the kitchen helping her, and every single Thanksgiving, that was the same routine. Wake up, all the food is done, but we still can't eat till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, but I loved it. It was my favorite memories. And when it comes to a holiday, that's like my favorite holiday. I just feel like it's always been around family and family oriented. So
yeah,
it's probably my favorite.
My favorite would have to be probably Christmas, like Christmas Eve, because we would always have like one of the classic Christmas movies on, like like the old claymation ones with like what was his name, like Heat Miser. All those old Christmas movies, they would always be playing. We'd have hot chocolate. We could open one gift on Christmas Eve.
Yep,
it was
the
just
smallest for us. It was the smallest gift we got. We could open up on Christmas.
We got to pick any one, just one. But just, you can open it up on Christmas Eve. That was probably my favorite. What quality or qualities do you admire in one another? I really admire, even from the beginning, your work ethic. Whether that's like just going to your job or working on your music, like the things that you like to do for yourself, keeping up with things in your everyday life. You're just a very disciplined, hardworking person. And I've always appreciated that. One more would have to be your positivity. Because I've seen you go through a lot and handle it with so much grace. Your positivity is brilliant.
My favorite quality about Sarah would have to be just how, well, it's positivity, but from the moment I met her, she always had this smile on her face. She always just seems to be in such a place of peace. And for me, I've always admired that because I go through these roller coasters and up and down, and times where I'm good and sometimes I'm bad. And so I've watched you try to keep an even keel. And I think that is something that I've always appreciated about you. Another quality of yours is how creative you are. This YouTube was not my idea, never has been. So putting these videos together was something that I kind of got from watching her. Watching you put the first few videos that you started putting together like that inspired me, because obviously I try to create music, but there's so much other things that you can create, visuals and all those things. And so to watch you create something out of nothing. And I mean, literally, we have just a few things around the house, and she'll put together this whole photo shoot. And so I've always just admired how creative you are, and I'm so blessed to be with somebody that actually creates. So.
Me too. Me too. Last one. How do you go about keeping peace in your home?
Oh, wow. I smoke. No. I would say that I try to keep communication open. Relationships are never easy, and if you're somebody like me who's been off on my own so much and I'm used to being by myself, and a lot of people are, when you come together with somebody, you have to realize that communication is everything. So I think over these 4 years we've been learning how to communicate better, and so even when we're not having good days or we're not seeing eye to eye, we still can overcome whatever it is that we're either mad about or sad about and still be able to talk. Because two people who don't talk, we're really just roommates. And that isn't as peaceful as when you're able to go to bed every night with someone that you have an understanding of where they're at in their everyday lives.
I have to check myself a lot because like I said, I've really grown into myself and overcome a lot of my own insecurities, which in turn makes me a better wife, a better woman, a better person to be around. Insecure people are more defensive than they like to admit, and at one point in my life, I was very instigative, if that's the word. Just kind of checking yourself as well, and that leads into the conversation. And honesty, and so you just have to make sure you are right within yourself and you're honest with yourself, or you're not going to be able to do that with another person.
Is that it?
That's it.
Hey, we appreciate the questions.
We do.
For the most part, it's always fun for us to get a chance to do on screen together. We don't really record together that often, so it's always fun to do it. Obviously, we'll love to be able to answer more questions. So if you have any others, anything you would like to know about, what we're doing separately or even together, ask us. Feel free to leave it in the comments. Do whatever you do. But Studio 840, we are here again, and we'll be back.
We'll always be back. Thanks, guys.